Amritpal Singh came into national spotlight as he took over the reins of problematic pro-Khalistani organization Waris Punjab De after the death of its founder, actor Deep Sidhu. Remember Deep Sidhu? The man who was seen leading a mob of protesters to Red Fort during the farmers' protests. Well, he was killed in a car accident while overspeeding as per his girlfriend and not by Indian authorities as was alleged by his followers. Anyway, Amritpal Singh saw the void left by Sidhu as an opportunity, and Amritpal, a truck driver from Dubai, swooped down on it. According to authorities, he was held by Pakistan's ISI and funds from overseas. He fashioned himself into what some call Bhindranwale 2.0. And how did he do that? Simple. He started mimicking him. He wore the same clothes, copied his style, his mannerisms, started carrying an arrow like him, and was always guarded by a battery of armed bodyguards. He talked about religion with similar fire and passion. But was that enough for a truck driver to capture the headlines the way he has? No. He piggybacked on something bigger, the Khalistan movement that has its roots deeper than even Bhindranwale. Hello and welcome to 360 Degree. I am Anjilee Istwal, and in this video, we understand the internal and external agents and circumstances that put a truck driver in the driving seat of a movement that has transcended generations despite losing steam, the Khalistan movement. The Khalistan movement, or the Sikh separatist movement, seeks to create an independent state called Khalistan for the Sikh community in Punjab. The movement emerged in the 1970s as a response to the growing perception of discrimination and marginalization of Sikhs in India. But the roots of the Khalistan movement can be traced back to the Punjabi Suba movement launched by the Akali Dal in the 50s and the 60s, which aimed to create a separate Punjabi-speaking state within the Indian Union. While this movement succeeded in the creation of Punjab as a separate state in 1966, it did not address the broader concerns of the Sikh community. Shall we dive deeper? Okay, so let's understand the Suba movement. Around the time of the independence, the Punjabi Suba movement surfaced. It was pushing for the establishment of a Punjabi-speaking state. But it didn't just end there. It also ignited the political struggle for greater autonomy. The States Reorganization Commission, which was entrusted with bringing in changes in the boundaries of India's states and territories, reorganizing them, mostly on linguistic lines, rejected this demand in its 1955 report. But the demand was not quelled. After years of protest, the state of Punjab was reorganized to reflect the Punjabi Suba demand in 1966. The erstwhile Punjab state was trifurcated on the linguistic lines into the Hindi-speaking Hindu-majority states of Himachal Pradesh and Haryana and the Punjabi-speaking Sikh-majority Punjab. What this Punjabi Suba movement did, other than helping the cause of reorganization of the state, was to galvanize the Akali Dal, which was formed as a volunteer group in 1920, but grew as a political power in every successive provincial elections under the British government. So after independence, Akali Dal grew to become a major force in the new Sikh majority Punjab. It also became a political force to reckon with. They fought the Legislative Assembly elections of 67 and 1969, but in 1972, the magic seemed feeble after Indira Gandhi had swept to power in the 1971 Lok Sabha elections.
Prime Minister Indira Gandhi paid an eloquent tribute to the valiant armed forces of India.
But the offshoot of the Suba movement, the separate state movement, was slowly picking up steam. Meanwhile, parallelly, Dr. Jagjit Singh Chauhan, a dentist and a politician who left Punjab for London and declared himself the president of Khalistan in 1971, took out an advertisement in the New York Times proclaiming the birth of Khalistan. Now let's come back to India. Meanwhile, the Akalis, losing their sheen, felt something had to be done. Now that's where the pivotal moment happened. the moment when politics and religion were joined together. The birth of Anandpur Sahib Resolution. In 1973, the Akali Dal met in the sacred town of Anandpur Sahib, the birthplace of the Khalsa, and issued a list of demands that would guide the Akali Dal's political path. The key demands of Anandpur Sahib Resolution, among many others, were greater autonomy for the state of Punjab, more Punjabi-speaking regions to be included in Punjab, considering Sikhs as separate entity from Hindus. All this was an attempt to create some distance from the central government, to harness the growing demand for an autonomous state. But it was not a demand for Khalistan, which had emerged alongside the Punjabi Suba movement and had gone global in 1971, as we told you, with the advertisement in the New York Times. The Khalistan movement gained momentum in the 1970s. Now that the fire of Khalistan was lit in Punjab, the man who stoked it into a raging blaze was Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, an enigmatic preacher who joined hands with the Akalis in 1982 to launch a Dharm Yudh for Anandpur Sahib Resolution. The politics of Congress versus Akalis led to the unbridled growth of Bhindranwale. It's often said that the Congress helped and groomed Bhindranwale, and then he outgrew them and challenged the Indian government with his Khalistani aspirations. In the years that followed, the movement was marked by a series of violent clashes between Sikh militants and security forces, as well as bombings and assassinations. Then came the bloodshed of 1984. The Indian government launched a military operation to remove Sikh militants from the Golden Temple complex in Amritsar, which is considered the holiest site in Sikhism. The operation resulted in the deaths of many militants and even civilians, as well as the destruction of the temple complex. This further galvanized the Sikh community and led to a surge in support for the Khalistan movement, and led to the assassination of former Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi by her own Sikh bodyguards in 1984. All this led to massive anti-Sikh riots, in which, according to the government estimates, 3,356 were butchered nationwide, with most killings in capital city Delhi. Today, the Khalistan movement remains a divisive issue in Indian politics, with sections of Sikhs choosing sides: independent Khalistan state or greater autonomy and representation within the Indian Union. It has also been called a zombie movement by an expert who wrote a book on it. Why? Because largely we see no action. But every year on the anniversary of Blue Star, there are images like these. It is the memory of Blue Star and the riots that followed that seem to have kept the issue still burning amongst the community. It continues to elicit sympathy and support among segments of Sikh population, particularly in the Sikh diaspora in the countries such as Canada, the United Kingdom and Australia. So basically, it's the Sikhs living outside India who want Khalistan more than the Sikhs living in India. Do tell us what you think about this video in the comment section, and for more news updates, subscribe to India Today.